Hello guys, you are seeing Prime News Australia, where we show you the latest and important news of Australia in the fastest and reliable way. So come, let's start by not delaying. 25 big updates of the Australia, especially for you. Before proceeding in the video, comment by commenting from which state you are watching, and also like video, so that YouTube can reach this video to more people of Australia. The Gippsland MP confirmed that under the Nationals' offer, the party would take collective responsibility for the decision of 3 senators to cross the floor on Labour's hate speech bill, rather than accept Suss and Lay's demands for a 6-month suspension for the trio. Sources briefed on the offer said the Nationals were proposing that all former frontbenchers serve suspensions until the end of February, and that the parties remain apart during that time. Dozens of people have died in Japan after record-breaking snowfall blanketed northern regions of the country, while officials warned that warmer temperatures could trigger a new wave of accidents. Authorities said 35 people had died in snow-related incidents across Japan since the 20th of January, with almost 400 injured, 126 of them seriously. Most of the deaths were among people who fell while trying to clear snow from their roofs or around their homes. A man has been shot dead by police after reportedly breaking into a home on the New South Wales mid-north coast, armed with a chainsaw and a knife, and stabbing a woman. NSW police said officers from the Manning Great Lakes Police District were called to a property in Tuncurry just before 6:40 a.m. on Friday, following reports of a home invasion. After the terrorist shootings at Bondi, the New South Wales government has empowered the police commissioner to put limits on protests or to ban them. The problem is that in allowing the banning of all protests, our laws go too far. They treat every protest as the same, without regard to intent, conduct, or risk. Adani donated $600,000 to Liberal National Party before 2024 state election, using federal loophole. The donations were disclosed through the Australian Electoral Commission on the 2nd of February, but not through the state-level disclosure system. The amount of political donations declared by donors totals $131 million, but the actual amount donated to political parties and other groups is likely far more. This total only includes donations over the reporting threshold of $16,900, or donations below this that have been optionally declared. For comparison, the total amount of money from any source received by major political parties in 2024-25 was $421 million. PM says new treaty with Indonesia, very significant. Anthony Albanese says he wants Australia to assist Indonesia in developing defense training infrastructure in the Southeast Asian nation. The Prime Minister spoke to reporters in Jakarta a short time ago, after the signing of a new security treaty with Indonesia's President Prabowo Subianto. Health Minister says surge in e-bikes a, quote, real emergency. The Health Minister Mark Butler says the spate of dangerous e-bike riding is a real emergency after a group of riders swarmed the Sydney Harbour Bridge during peak hour traffic. NSW police are investigating after about 40 people traveled along the bridge's main deck, where cycling is prohibited, before turning around and riding through the Sydney CBD. No arrests or charges have been laid by police. Minister says everyone needs to be vigilant about social cohesion after alleged bombing attempt in Perth. Malarndirri McCarthy, the Minister for Indigenous Australians, said First Nations people have felt very scared, angry, and a bit confused after an alleged attempted bombing at an Invasion Day protest in Perth. Police charged a 31-year-old man with terrorism on Thursday over the alleged attempted bombing, accusing the man of accessing pro-white material online and claiming the actions were motivated by hate and racism. Tony Muckbell clears final legal hurdle. One of Australia's most notorious crime figures has had his final drug conviction charge withdrawn after a lengthy court battle, AAP reports. Tony Muckbell, 60, will walk from Melbourne's Supreme Court on Friday, a free man, after a lengthy battle to overturn his drug convictions in the aftermath of the Lawyer X scandal. He won his appeal last year, with judges ordering he face a retrial over alleged offending in 2005, dubbed the orbital charge, and relating to alleged MDMA trafficking. Inflation came in materially higher than anticipated in the back half of last year. Michelle Bullock, the RBA's governor, told a parliamentary committee this morning as she explaining what drove this week's interest rate hike. Bullock said, "I recognize the challenges that a cash rate increase brings for Australians with mortgages, but it's the right thing for the economy as a whole, because we need to ensure inflation is low and stable so that households and businesses can plan, invest, and create jobs." The NSW Planning Minister, Paul Scully, says the government is further behind than we would like to be on its commitment to build 377,000 homes in the state by 2029 under the National Housing Accords. Scully used a keynote address at the Committee for Sydney Summit this morning to say the city had become stifled by layers of red tape that have built up like layers of Sydney sandstone. Australian shares opened sharply lower this morning, erasing well over $40 billion in value from the market after pure carnage took hold of Wall Street overnight. Australia's benchmark S&P ASX 200 was trading below 8,750 points shortly after the market opened, down more than 1.5%. A police official said the group hoped to march from Sydney's town hall to the NSW Parliament, but that the streets were in a declared area and would not be approved. The NSW Police Acting Assistant Commissioner, Paul Dunstan, said, "It's our intent to work closely with the Palestinian Action Group as there's an opportunity for them to conduct lawful public assembly in an area outside the declared area." Australian Port Authority Pilbara Ports will clear all berths at the ports of Ashburton, Cape Preston West, Dampier, and Varanus Island by 4 p.m. local time, 8 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, on the 6th of February, while Port Hedland will be closed by 9:30 p.m. local time, it said today. The New South Wales NSW government has declared 2 pumped hydro projects representing AU $7 billion, US $4.84 billion in investment and totaling 22,000 megawatt-hours of storage capacity as critical infrastructure. The government has today confirmed it is fast-tracking development of the Western Sydney pumped hydro project at Lake Burragarang and the Yarrabin, Phoenix, pumped hydro project near Mudgee. Surf Lifesaving Australia is set to introduce a new national day, Red and Yellow Day, scheduled for March 4th. The initiative is aimed at raising awareness and funds for beach safety across Australia. The campaign and brand identity supporting the initiative is being managed by 5x5 Global, a creative agency tasked with bringing this new event to the public's attention, who won the hotly contested pitch for the account. The campaign encourages individuals to participate in various ways, such as hosting fundraising events, making donations, purchasing a party host kit, or simply wearing red or yellow on the designated day. Pulp are heading down under for the first time in over a decade, hitting Brisbane, Adelaide, Melbourne, and 2 nights at the Sydney Opera House forecourt. Expect classics like Common People and Disco 2000, alongside songs from more. Jarvis will keep things playful, storytelling, and pointing his way through the set. Here's everything you need to know for the You Deserve More tour.